Imagine standing in a room filled with people, each one eager to share their plans, their ambitions, their dreams of success. They speak with passion, with confidence, with certainty that their future is bright. But as time passes, you notice something strange. Very few of these people ever turn their words into reality. Their grand ideas fade, their enthusiasm dwindles, and their dreams remain just that. Dreams. Now think about the ones who don't speak, the ones who listen, who work in silence, who disappear into the background. They don't waste their breath on promises. They channel their energy into execution. And then, one day, without warning, they emerge, not with words, but with results. What if the secret to success isn't in telling people what you're going to do, but in showing them only when it's done? What if every word you speak before your success is achieved is actually draining your power, scattering your energy, and making it less likely that you will succeed? Today, I want to reveal the hidden power of silence. The reason why keeping your plans to yourself may be the most important step toward turning them into reality. Silence is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It is a principle embedded in creation, a force that carries within it the ability to shape destinies, forge character, and manifest success. Yet it is also one of the most underrated and misunderstood elements in the journey of life. Most people believe that in order to succeed, they must speak of their ambitions, announce their goals, and let the world know what they are striving for. But this belief is not only misleading, it is dangerous. The truth is that true success often thrives in silence. When you learn the power of keeping your plans and actions to yourself, you unlock a hidden strength that allows you to build without interference, progress without resistance, and achieve without unnecessary distractions. Imagine a seed buried beneath the soil. It does not call out for attention. It does not demand recognition. It simply exists in silence, hidden from the world, while something incredible is taking place beneath the surface. Roots are spreading, foundations are being established, and the process of growth is occurring in a realm unseen. If someone were to dig up that seed too soon, exposing it to the elements before it was ready, the entire process would be disrupted. It would not have the time to develop the strength necessary to withstand the storms, the winds, and the pressures of the outside world. In the same way, when you reveal your plans too early, you disrupt the process of growth that is meant to happen in secrecy. Silence is a form of protection. When you keep your ambitions to yourself, you shield them from the opinions, doubts, and negativity of others. The world is full of voices that will question your vision, challenge your determination, and plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Even well-meaning people can unknowingly discourage you by projecting their own fears and limitations onto you. If you constantly seek validation by sharing your plans, you open yourself up to these influences. Instead of being driven by your inner conviction, you become swayed by the uncertainties and skepticism of others. Over time, this weakens your resolve and dilutes your focus. Speaking of your goals can also create an illusion of progress. There is a psychological effect that occurs when we announce our plans. We feel a sense of accomplishment just by speaking about them. The mind in some ways begins to believe that progress has already been made simply because the idea has been vocalized. This false sense of achievement can lead to complacency. Instead of putting in the necessary work, you might find yourself talking about your ambitions more than you are actually pursuing them. Many dreams have died in the realm of conversation, never making it past words into action. True success is built in quiet, consistent effort. The most successful individuals in history did not spend their early days making grand declarations. They worked in the shadows, refining their craft, building their foundations, and preparing themselves for the right moment. They understood that the strength of any great endeavor is not in its announcement, but in its execution. When a sculptor begins work on a masterpiece, he does not invite an audience to watch as he chisels away at the stone. He works in solitude, shaping, refining, and perfecting until one day, the masterpiece is ready to be revealed. There is also an element of strategic advantage in silence. When you keep your plans to yourself, you maintain control over your narrative. No one can sabotage what they do not know. No one can interfere with a vision they have never seen. In contrast, when you reveal too much, you give others the opportunity to manipulate, copy, or hinder your progress. Silence keeps you ahead. It allows you to move without resistance, to build without interference, and to control the timing of your own success. There is wisdom in restraint. In a world that encourages constant sharing, where people broadcast every step of their journey on social media, the discipline to remain silent is rare. But it is in that silence that true power lies. Those who understand this principle do not seek applause along the way. They do not look for external validation. They trust the process, embrace the solitude of discipline, and allow their actions to speak for them when the time is right. Mystery has always been one of the greatest forces in history. It surrounds the most profound discoveries, the most powerful leaders, and the most significant events that have shaped civilizations. It is a principle that governs the way success unfolds, not through loud announcements, but through quiet preparation. The greatest movements, inventions, and breakthroughs were not revealed in their infancy. They were concealed, nurtured, and protected until the right moment. This is the mystery principle, the understanding that secrecy is not a weakness, but a strength, and that true power comes from what is hidden rather than what is exposed. When something is hidden, it holds an element of intrigue, a force that compels people to wonder, to seek, and to question. The unknown carries weight, and that weight commands respect. Consider the greatest military strategies in history. Wars were not won by revealing plans to the enemy, but by moving in secrecy, by using mystery as a weapon. The element of surprise has always been one of the strongest tactics in warfare, and it is no different in the battle for success. If your goals, plans, and strategies are visible to everyone, they become vulnerable. People will analyze them, criticize them, and some may even work against them. But when you operate in secrecy, you maintain control. You dictate the terms, the timing, and the way your success unfolds. Mystery has a way of amplifying impact. When something remains unseen for a time, its revelation becomes even more powerful. This is why great inventions were not announced before they were perfected. The light bulb was not revealed as an idea. It was revealed as a working reality. The automobile was not introduced to the world in its conceptual stage, but as a finished product that could move, that could change the way people lived. Had these ideas been spoken of too soon, they might have been dismissed, doubted, or even stolen. But because they remained in the realm of mystery until the right time, they emerged with undeniable power. This principle is woven into the natural world. The most powerful transformations occur in hidden places. A caterpillar does not announce that it will become a butterfly. It disappears into a cocoon, away from sight, and undergoes a transformation in the secret place. Only when the process is complete does it emerge, and when it does, it is something entirely different from what it was before. The butterfly does not explain its journey, it simply appears, and its presence speaks for itself. History is filled with figures who understood this principle. The greatest leaders did not reveal their plans before they were ready to act. They moved in silence, strategizing, preparing, and ensuring that when they finally stepped into the open, they were unstoppable. If you look at the rise of powerful figures, you will see that their early years were often marked by obscurity. They did not seek attention before their time. They did not rush into the spotlight. Instead, they embraced the hidden season, using it to refine themselves, to sharpen their skills, and to fortify their vision. Mystery also protects vision. When an idea is spoken too soon, it becomes subject to the opinions of others. People will dissect it, challenge it, and often they will not understand it. But when it remains concealed, it is protected from external interference. It has the space to grow without being choked by doubt or opposition. Many dreams have been destroyed not because they were impossible, but because they were revealed too soon to people who could not see what the dreamers saw. There is wisdom in withholding, in allowing an idea to mature before exposing it to the scrutiny of the world. Even in personal growth, mystery plays a role. The most profound transformations in life often happen in silence. When someone is working on themselves, changing their habits, developing their mindset, or pursuing a new path, the greatest power lies in not announcing it. When change happens quietly, it is genuine. It is not performed for the approval of others, but for the sake of true transformation. And when that transformation is complete, when the results are undeniable, there will be no need to explain. The change itself will be the proof. When you reveal your vision too early, you expose it to forces that can weaken, delay, or even destroy it. Premature exposure is one of the most dangerous mistakes a person can make on the path to success. Ideas, dreams, and plans are fragile in their infancy. They are like embers that need time to become a roaring fire. But when they are spoken of too soon, they become vulnerable to external influences, doubt, criticism, resistance, and even sabotage. The moment you share your vision, you invite opinions. Some will be encouraging, but many will be skeptical. People tend to judge ideas based on their own experiences and limitations. If they have never done what you aspire to do, they will find it hard to believe it can be done. Their doubt may not come from malice, but it has the same effect. It plants uncertainty in your mind. A single comment, a raised eyebrow, or a dismissive remark can shake your confidence. And when confidence wavers, execution suffers. Even if you continue forward, the seed of doubt grows, slowing you down and making you second-guess your own capabilities. Beyond doubt, there is resistance. The world is full of people who resist change, who are threatened by ambition, and who are uncomfortable with someone rising above the status quo. When you make your plans known, you give these people the opportunity to stand in your way. Some will do it openly, discouraging you with logic that seems rational, but is actually rooted in fear. Others will do it subtly, planting distractions, steering you off course, or manipulating circumstances to keep you where what could have been a smooth journey becomes filled with unnecessary obstacles simply because the vision was revealed before it was ready. There is also the danger of imitation. A unique idea, when exposed too early, can be taken by those who have more resources, more connections, or a greater ability to execute quickly. In business, this has happened countless times. A person shares an idea, thinking they are just discussing a concept, only to watch someone else bring it to life and claim the success for themselves. The world is not always fair, and not everyone operates with integrity. Some will take what they hear and run with it, leaving the original visionary behind. This is why the most successful entrepreneurs, inventors, and artists keep their greatest work hidden until it is fully developed and protected. Revealing a vision prematurely can also create unnecessary pressure. The moment you declare your plans, people begin to expect results. Every step you take is now being watched, evaluated, and sometimes criticized. If progress is slow, others may begin to question your ability. Their impatience can create pressure that forces you to rush, make mistakes, or feel like you need to prove something instead of moving at your own pace. Success requires time, and when you are constantly trying to meet external expectations, you lose the freedom to refine, adjust, and grow without interference. There is a psychological aspect to this as well. When a vision is spoken aloud, the mind often registers it as an accomplishment. The sense of excitement and validation that comes from talking about it can create a false feeling of progress. This is why so many people spend years discussing their dreams but never acting on them. The satisfaction of sharing replaces the drive to build. True success does not come from talking, it comes from doing. The energy that should be used for action gets wasted in conversation. History is full of examples of people who protected their vision until it was unshakable. Leaders, inventors, and revolutionaries understood that a plan must be guarded until it is strong enough to withstand opposition. They worked in silence, allowing their vision to take root without interference. And when they finally revealed it, it was too powerful to be ignored, too established to be questioned, and too developed to be stopped. Energy is one of the most valuable resources a person possesses. It is the driving force behind every action, every decision, and every achievement. The way energy is directed determines whether a vision will succeed or fail. Yet, in a world where speaking about plans is often mistaken for progress, many waste their energy on words rather than action. Every time a person talks about their goals, they release a portion of the energy that should have been used to achieve them. Instead of pouring that energy into focused, disciplined effort, they disperse it in conversations, seeking validation, approval, or recognition before anything has even been built. When a goal is spoken about too often, it loses its intensity. The human mind is wired in such a way that verbalizing an ambition can create a premature sense of accomplishment. There is a psychological satisfaction that comes from announcing an intention, as if simply declaring it brings it closer to reality. But this is an illusion. The energy that should be fueling movement is instead being spent on discussion. It is like opening a dam and letting the water flow freely rather than directing it with force to generate power. Once the energy is scattered, it is difficult to reclaim. The initial drive fades, the urgency diminishes, and what once felt like an unstoppable mission turns into just another abandoned idea. Beyond the personal loss of energy, there is the external drain caused by engaging with others. Every conversation requires a transfer of energy. The more time spent explaining, defending, or justifying a vision, the less time and strength remain to build it. Some people, rather than encouraging or supporting, will question, criticize, or cast doubt. Even well-meaning individuals can weaken motivation by introducing concerns that were never there before. Instead of focusing on the work, energy gets wasted addressing opinions, countering skepticism, or simply trying to maintain belief in the face of unnecessary negativity. The process of creation requires undivided attention. Every great work, whether a masterpiece of art, an invention, or a business empire, demands a singular focus. When energy is preserved and directed toward execution rather than conversation, progress accelerates. Those who achieve the most are not those who talk about their dreams the most, but those who remain silent, pouring their efforts into the unseen hours of disciplined labor. Their energy is not scattered in discussion, but concentrated in action. While others are talking about what they hope to do, they are already doing it. Time is another dimension of energy that is often wasted in premature discussions. Every moment spent explaining a plan is a moment that could have been used to refine, improve, or take a step forward. Time is a resource that cannot be regained. Once spent on words, it is gone. But when protected and used wisely, it compounds, leading to mastery, breakthroughs, and unstoppable momentum. The most successful people understand this. They do not allow distractions, debates, or unnecessary conversations to deplete their reserves. They move in silence, guarding their energy like a hidden treasure, ensuring that every ounce of it is used with purpose. Silence is not emptiness. It is a reservoir of strength. It allows thoughts to be fully formed, strategies to be refined, and execution to be carried out without interference. It creates a space where energy is not lost but amplified. The fewer people who know about a vision in its early stages, the less energy is wasted managing external factors. Instead of explaining and convincing, one can simply build, and when the work is complete, when success is undeniable, there is no need to explain. The results speak for themselves, and the energy that was once protected now stands as a visible, unshakable achievement. Discipline is the foundation of every great achievement. It is the force that transforms ideas into reality, that bridges the gap between intention and success. Yet, one of the greatest enemies of discipline is unnecessary exposure. When a person speaks too soon about their goals, they introduce distractions that weaken their focus and disrupt their ability to follow through. What should be a quiet and steady path towards success turns into a public performance where the pressure to live up to expectations replaces the internal drive to simply do the work. The mind functions best when it is not divided. Every great endeavor requires a level of concentration that is undisturbed by external noise. Speaking about a goal too early creates an additional layer of mental clutter. Now, instead of focusing solely on the process, the mind becomes occupied with managing reactions, addressing doubts, and dealing with the expectations of others. Energy that should have been directed toward disciplined execution is instead spent on unnecessary conversations, reducing the intensity needed to move forward. Success is not achieved through scattered effort, but through an unwavering commitment to a path that is pursued without interruption. When a person keeps their goals to themselves, they are free to move at their own pace. There is no artificial deadline imposed by external observers, no premature pressure to prove progress, no need to justify delays or changes in direction. They can refine their approach, make mistakes in silence, and adjust without feeling the weight of public scrutiny. But when a goal is announced, the dynamic changes. Now every step is watched, every delay is questioned, and every setback feels like a failure in the eyes of those who were told. Instead of being driven by the internal fire of discipline, the person becomes driven by a need to manage perceptions, which is far less powerful. Silence creates a space where self-discipline can thrive. In the absence of external distractions, a person can establish routines, habits, and systems that support their goal without interference. They can wake up early, work late, and put in the necessary hours without anyone questioning their methods or their progress. They are free to experiment, to test strategies, to push through difficult phases without worrying about how it looks from the outside. The greatest masters in any field understand this principle. They do not seek attention while they are still building. They disappear into their work, emerging only when what they have created is undeniable. Another aspect of discipline is the ability to endure setbacks without losing momentum. When goals are private, failures are private as well. There is no embarrassment, no external pressure to explain what went wrong, no unnecessary discouragement from people who may not understand the process. A person who has not shared their vision can fall, get back up, and continue forward without interference. But when a goal is made public, every failure becomes a spectacle. Doubt from others can start to seep in, weakening the resilience needed to keep going. What should be a quiet and determined march towards success turns into a battle against external skepticism, making discipline harder to maintain. There is also a psychological effect at play. When people announce their goals, they often experience a false sense of progress. The mind registers the act of speaking about a goal as an accomplishment in itself, reducing the urgency to actually achieve it. This is why so many people talk about their dreams for years but never act on them. They have replaced the discipline of execution with the illusion of movement, mistaking conversation for progress. The true path to success is not found in talking, but in doing, in showing up day after day, in putting in the effort when no one is watching. The discipline to remain silent is just as important as the discipline to work hard. It protects focus, preserves energy, and eliminates unnecessary distractions. It allows progress to be made without interruption, ensuring that the only thing that speaks in the end is the result itself. The power of results is undeniable. A finished product, a visible achievement, or a transformed reality speaks louder than any words ever could. Those who reach the highest levels of success understand that true power is not in announcing intentions, but in delivering outcome. Words can be debated, dismissed, or doubted, but results command attention, respect, and influence. When something is fully formed and undeniable, it silences criticism, erases skepticism, and establishes authority in a way that no amount of talking ever could. When a person speaks too soon about their goals, they create expectations without proof. People listen, but they do not see. And in the absence of tangible evidence, doubt remains. Words, no matter how passionate, are still just words until they manifest into reality. When people hear about a vision that has not yet materialized, their first instinct is not to believe, but to question. They wonder if it will truly happen, if the person is capable, if the idea is practical. Every explanation given in response to these doubts drains energy that should have been directed toward execution. Instead of simply working and delivering, one now has to defend, justify, or persuade, and in doing so, the focus shifts from building to proving. Silence, on the other hand, removes all distractions. It keeps the mind focused on the work rather than on perception. It eliminates the need to convince others and replaces it with the simple act of producing something undeniable. When a result is complete, it requires no explanation. A thriving business, a groundbreaking innovation, a remarkable skill, these things prove themselves. No one questions the person who has already succeeded. There is no need to explain how or why something worked when the proof is standing in front of them. Beyond credibility, there is an element of power in being underestimated. Those who reveal their plans too soon often invite unnecessary resistance. Competitors become aware, skeptics voice their doubts, and obstacles arise that might never have existed if the work had been done quietly. But when a person moves in silence, they catch the world off guard. No one expects what they have not been told to anticipate. The advantage of surprise allows a person to bypass resistance, to complete their work without interference, and to reveal it only when it is too strong to be challenged. Results not only speak louder than words, but also open doors that words never could. People respect what they can see. A person who has built something of value does not need to seek approval or convince others of their worth. The world recognizes results and rewards them accordingly. Opportunities flow naturally to those who have proven themselves, while those who merely talk about potential remain stuck in a cycle of seeking validation. Those who let their results speak for them never have to ask for recognition. It is given to them without question. There is also a psychological shift that happens when a person focuses on results rather than announcements. The mind shifts from seeking external validation to pursuing internal mastery. Instead of worrying about what others think, the focus remains on the quality of work, the process of improvement, and the discipline of execution. The journey becomes about excellence rather than perception. And when excellence is pursued relentlessly, success becomes inevitable. This principle is evident throughout history. The most influential leaders, creators, and innovators were not the ones who spoke about their plans at every step. They were the ones who worked in silence and let their success announce itself. They understood that results do not need explanations, that power lies in proof, and that the greatest impact is made not through words but through undeniable achievement. Those who grasp this truth move differently, work differently, and ultimately achieve differently. Their silence is not emptiness. It is preparation. And when they finally speak, they do so with the voice of undeniable success. The world is filled with voices, with people eager to declare their intentions, to seek validation, to announce their dreams before they have even begun the work. But true success does not come from speaking, it comes from doing. It is built in silence, in discipline, in focused effort that does not require applause or approval. Every word spoken before the work is done is a distraction, a drain on energy, a step away from the path of execution. Those who truly achieve do not waste their breath on promises. They let their results speak for them. They understand that energy must be preserved, discipline must be protected, and success must be built away from the noise of public scrutiny. They do not seek permission, nor do they seek recognition before their time. They move in silence, they create without interference, and when they finally reveal what they have built, it is undeniable. In the end, the greatest power is not in what you say, but in what you produce. Let your work be your voice. Let your success be your answer. Let the world see what you have accomplished, not because you told them, but because you showed them.